You have no idea the amount of ignorant mess you're about to get into right now.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. This is a preview episode for episode 152, Four Brothers. The film is John Singleton's, one of John Singleton's movies. We thought we would do it out of respect for him after his untimely passing. About four brothers who are raised in a foster home, and they're raised together as young boys, and they grow up together. And they're forced to kind of look out for each other when things go wrong with a local kind of scumbag guy played by Chiwetel Ejiofor when they're adults. So look forward to that episode. I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after, but we'll give you guys a heads up on social media just because our schedules are a little nuts right now. But look forward to that as episode 152. Preview episode, unfortunately, Terrence is not here. He was having a couple of technical difficulties.
That's very nice that you try to cover her for him like that. He pretty much just said, fuck y'all niggas. I don't feel like doing a preview episode. He big timed you. Timed you, and he was just like, I don't feel like doing an episode this week.
Yeah, he's too rich, man. This guy. Yeah. Just really, really not a man of the people anymore. Remember when Terrence used to be?
Yeah, I remember when Terrence used to stick up for the little guy. Now he's just a big ass bully.
I wish you guys could see our private conversations. They're ridiculous. Also, us trying to prank Terrence earlier didn't work. It was like a fucking SNL skit. Oh my God. More on that another time. All right, so preview topic is it's actually going to be kind of three topics, or maybe two. One, the fallout from a black character dying on Game of Thrones, a show that people die on, and then weirdly the Ayesha Curry situation. And I think what it really is the two topics are brought together by one thing: the good and the bad and the ugly that is Black Twitter. So we wanted to talk about both topics and sort of the social media aspects of both of those. So firstly, we'll talk about the Game of Thrones topic. In the latest episode of Game of Thrones, doesn't matter if you're watching, we're not going to spoil anything except for this like one part, really.
Except for something that already aired.
Yeah. Masandi, played by Nathalie Emmanuel, she gets killed at the end of the episode, and she's one of two black characters on the show, and some people were very upset by this. I wasn't, but a lot of people were really mad because she was a black woman, and she was murdered, and I guess because of the way she was murdered, in why she was murdered, I think bothered people, but the fact that she was murdered really ticked people off. So, Micah, you're a Game of Thrones watcher. I am as well. What did you think about this death when you saw it? Were you saddened? Were you upset?
No, I wasn't sad. I wasn't upset. Because I like Game of Thrones, but it's not something that I'm highly invested in. Where, you know, I'm not invested in these characters enough to get upset when they die, specifically because the show has really trained me from season 1 to not like anybody. Because if you do, they're probably going to die.
Brutally.
Season 1, episode 9. They stuck the main character's head on a pike. So, yeah, I'm not. But that's just me, myself, personally. Look, I find it a little difficult because I'm not invested. I find it a little difficult for other people to get invested in some of these characters because I'm self-centered. But look, I get it, right? Like, you don't see yourself in fantasy shows, right? So
Sure.
you see yourself in a fantasy show and you want to root for those people. I feel like the show really kind of trained you to not really, like, if you like someone, like, chances are they are going to die.
Right.
But look, if you were upset, I get it. But at the same time, I don't feel for you. I don't, you know, I don't think that, I don't think your arguments hold too much weight. You know, you want to see yourself in this stuff, and, you know, consequences happen because of it. Yeah, some people are mad that her death was used as a plot device to fuel the motivations of one of the main characters, a white woman. I'm not going to point out that, well, I am going to point it out, but I'm going to say, I'm not going to point it out and then point it out like an asshole.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah. I'm not going to point out that, you know, it's done in every form of fiction, right? Like, it was done in comic books, in movies and film and television and literature. Like, using the death of a character as motivation for another character is the cheapest way to do it, but it is done. And I don't think that the show should necessarily be penalized for doing it here. Not the first time it's been done, by the way. Every death in Game of Thrones is usually motivation for someone else to do something. Usually.
I would argue every single one of the main, like any main line character.
Anybody that you can remember their name,
yes,
their death has been used as some sort of motivation or catharsis.
Look, here's the thing. I don't like the argument. I don't like the term plot device used negatively in this context, because the show is a character-driven show, right? Like, there is an overarching plot, but it's really about the characters. Like that, like hardcore character A interacting with character B, interacting with character C, you know, down the line. All of it is a plot device. All of it is. Their characters are born, killed, brought back, you know, maimed, abused. It's all, you can use that term. It's a plot device for anything that you don't like. Like, you can, Jon Snow died and came back. That's a plot device. It is, but no one would say that because you like Jon Snow.
Yeah, but they let the white man come back.
Yeah, because he's the main character. Sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything is a plot device. Bryn getting with Jamie. It's a plot device. Guess what? Look, here's my theory. I don't know. I haven't seen the spoilers. I don't plan on reading anything. Look, Jamie gonna get killed. And it's probably gonna be by Bryn. It's a plot device. It's a plot device. All of it is a plot device. Don't use things like that to justify something else. If you have a problem with something, that's fine. But I'm going to need you to come a little stronger with your arguments. Like, that argument doesn't make any sense to me, especially not in a world where people just straight up get murdered all the fucking time. Rob and his wife got fucking killed. It was a plot device. Also, this article, I have real problems with the title of this article. The biggest and most problematic death so far on Game of Thrones final season upsets Black Twitter. Look, it might be the biggest death on this season. I mean, the season's only halfway through, but it's not even close to being the most problematic death in the series. Get the fuck out of here. Like, it's not. It's not. They stabbed a visibly pregnant woman in the stomach till she died. Shut up. Like, yo, come on, yo. They just lopped this woman's head off from a distance. Like, you didn't even see that shit up close. Like,
yeah, they didn't really revel in it. You know what I mean?
No, they didn't.
They didn't. It is not the worst thing I've seen in this show. Honestly, one of the worst treatments of women I've seen in this show is a woman wiping cum off of her face.
Yeah, season one.
Yeah, come on, guys. like this is a show that treats women like fucking dog shit. But for some strange reason, that just really fucking bothered me, man.
Well, you know what it was, right? It was because they did it and then had her go kiss a guy immediately. You're like, all right, Jesus Christ. Like, the disrespect. Like, My God, I know she's a hooker or whatever, like a prostitute. It's fine. I don't care about that. We don't need to see it that graphic. We get it.
Damn, have a little bit of class. God,
It's zero couth. So
I'm looking at someone's Twitter and they said that, in a show where there are literally only 2 black characters, how she died had everything to do with race.
No, it didn't.
I don't necessarily. I don't believe that. I really don't. I'm sorry. That's like saying Grey Worm was made a eunuch and it had everything to do with race. Like
people make that argument. People have made that argument.
No, because the other guy, the spy master, he's a eunuch. He's not black. He's not white, I don't think. But that other guy's a eunuch, the bald guy.
Yeah, no, I know. But here's my thing. That's because confirmation bias exists. And that's what I see in these arguments. Well, why are they brutally killing this black woman? Yo, do you watch this show? Are you fucking serious? Like, come on, man. You got to be able to look outside of just your small avenue and realize like these things are not uncommon. You know how many people have gotten their heads lopped off on Game of Thrones?
Yeah, the first guy that I remember to get his head lopped off was a white guy. It was a white man named Ned.
Yeah, he was on the DVD cover, my nigga. Like, he was the main character.
Look, the bottom line...
We should have known he was going to die. That was Sean Bean. Like, knocking off. Like, how did we not see that coming?
But, I mean, like, a white man pushed a little white boy out of a building because he was fucking his sister and got caught. Like, that's the, those could have been the black people.
Right.
The incest twins. You know what I mean? Like part of wanting to see yourself in more things, you gotta take stuff like this. Now look, I understand if you're upset. Like, you don't want to see a character you like die. But at the same time, like, if it happens,
get over it.
I'm not mad at it. And I don't think you should be. And if you are, just stop watching. Like, that's how you. This
is my biggest thing. Why do you continue to watch this show? I saw people telegraphing Grey Worm or Masandi's death weeks ago. They're like, "Oh, there's only 2 black hair. You know, one of them gonna die." Okay, so you know this. Like when they were like, "We're gonna make a life for each other," I was like, "Yo, one of y'all gonna die." I already knew, of course. I thought it was gonna be Grey Worm in the last episode. Before that, he on the damn near front lines. I was like, this dude is not gonna make it, but he made it.
Like I see this person says that the issue isn't that Masande's death happened. This person never expected Grey Worm or Masande to make it to where they needed to go. The issue is that her death was one way, was the one way that she said she didn't want to die.
In chains?
Yeah, she died in chains.
That's the fucking point.
Right, exactly. Like, that's the point. Like, that's the cruelty of it, right? Like, that's because you like that character. That's the cruelty of it. But some people might not understand, but just kind of, confirmation bias. The thing that this person ends with is Liana, the little white girl, little tough white girl. Right?
Oh, Lady Mormont.
Yeah, Liana slays a giant. Mashande should have to.
No.
Should have also. Why? Because this other person did it?
I'm going to say something. It's going to get me in trouble. And I got a huge mouth, so let me just say it, get it out of the way. I understand that black women have been treated horribly in media and in the real world for hundreds of years. And I love the fact that black women are finally getting their like black girl magic fucking moment. I love it. It's great. I'm glad that they're being finally seen with a level of respect in society, at least by the woker half of society, right? Obviously there's still, a long way to go. I mean, the video just came out about Sandra Bland, perfect example of horrible shit black women go through. I understand all that, and I got no problem with that, and I support it 100%. But I'm going to need people to stop acting like just because someone is a black woman that they should be fucking invincible in fiction. Relax. Like, look, her dying if you knew she was gonna die and you figured she was gonna die, like, it's fine. Lady Mormont's character and Masandi's character aren't even close to the fucking same. They're not in that series. They're not. One is a badass little kid who is in charge of armies. The other one is an advisor who doesn't talk a lot. So why in the middle of a battle would one who is like a war-torn fucking character kill a giant and the one who's an advisor kill a giant? That doesn't make any sense. And I get it. Black women, I love you. But that type of fucking thinking from, I'm not saying all black women, but that type of thinking from that person, you can't just make people just invincible to just be invincible because you see yourself in them. That's crazy to me. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in this context. Now, if Masandi was like a fucking badass or whatever, then I would absolutely have your back. If it was Michonne from Walking Dead, I got your back. But you can't just make people different because you just want to. I'm sorry. That's just not how the characters are written. If suddenly Masandi was like this karate badass, you'd be like, yo, none of this makes any sense. She's an advisor. Like, come on, man. Like, relax. It doesn't diminish you as a black woman to be okay with seeing black women normalized, not as superheroes, just normalized. You need superheroes too, and that's important, but they can't just be impossibly invincible. It's just silly to me. I don't like this. It's a new argument that I see a lot, and it doesn't make any sense. Look, I'm all for Storm being a badass in the X-Men movies. Cool. This quiet advisor who doesn't say a lot, no, I'm not. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense within the rules of this
of the universe. It just doesn't. And again, that's not an indictment across black women, because I'm sure someone on Twitter will fucking go there. That's not my point. My point is you can't just make everything impossibly perfect just for the character just because you see yourself in them. It's not, by the way, that's not interesting to watch. It's not.
Right. It's the Superman argument.
Right. Guess what? They killed Jon Snow and had to bring him back because it was like, yo, if we just let this dude rock with no scars and make it all the way to the end, that's going to be boring as fuck to watch. That's why. They made him fuck his cousin to try to get him to be less perfect. They did. And it's fucked up. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, white people got real problems in this show. If anything, that should be that. Like, I don't understand the argument of like, we need to have more black people in the show. Why do you want them here?
Right, so they can be prostitutes. So they can be prostitutes, raped, incestual, murdered slaves.
They need to do a Black Game of Thrones. That's fine. I don't need them in this. Like, I just don't. I just don't. Also, by the way, you want a badass black person? Grey Worm is that. Like, he's a part of that narrative. By the way, they made him black, right? He didn't have to be black. Because I read George R.R. Martin's like breakdown of Grey Worm. Doesn't say he's black.
Yeah, they describe him, and that's what decent writers do, right? They describe everything around what the character should look like, so that the reader can imprint the image of what they see in their mind into the book, which is why everybody has a problem with adapted work. Right, exactly. But this don't look like who I thought it was. Who I thought it was going to be. Right. And then people were like, well, they made the Unsullied not have dicks, and they made a black man the Unsullied. I'm like, okay. There's a reason why there's a reason why people created eunuchs, is so that it's the same reason you neuter your dog. Yeah. So that he's not thinking about pussy all day. Yeah. Like, he can focus on trying to, just do whatever task is needed. Right. It makes sense within the context of the story. It's not some grand plan to emasculate the black man and right. I need us to calm the Hotep shit down. I do. Like, I don't understand how simultaneously you can have those theories about this show, but you tune in every week. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it can't bother you nearly as much as you pretend that it does. Why they holding down the black man? Ooh, is Game of Thrones on? Like, the fuck? Like, again, we're not in season 1 where you're like, oh, I'm discovering the fucked up shit that happens in this series. You're in season 6. You know what happens in this series. The Unsullied been there for fucking like 3 or 4 seasons. Like, come on, man, knock it off. So,
I don't know. And again, I need to clarify because we live in a world that lacks complete and utter nuance. My comment is about not just making characters impossibly invincible just because you see yourself in them. I see it happen with black men, with black male characters in superhero movies. I see it all the time. Well, why can't this person do that? Because they can't, dude. That's just not in that universe. They can't. Here's these other black people who can do it. Nah, fuck them. I wanted to be this guy. Well, all right. Like,
I wanted to be this guy because I look the most like him.
Like, that's not, come on, man. Come on. Like, if we want ourselves to see, if you want to see ourselves in more fiction, that's fine. But what fiction isn't interesting? Everybody is perfect. They're not. Like, it's not interesting to read. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, look, we can't all be the heroes of these stories if we want to be put into all this stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? We all can't be Captain America. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
you're going to have black characters who are villains.
right. We all can't be heroes either. Quite frankly, I want more black villains.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Villains are the better characters generally anyway.
Heroes are the measure of a hero is based directly upon the strength of his villain.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I know people hate her guts. Cersei is the best character on that show.
Cersei is a fucking bitch, and I hope she wins.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, I do. That would be the ultimate fuck you. Who's sitting on that Iron Throne? Me, nigga. Same person was sitting on there last Tuesday. Fuck out of here. I won. Credits. Like, that's what I want. Just because she's more interesting. She is. She's a piece of shit.
Yeah, man.
All her kids are dead. She's angry. She's pregnant by that asshole pirate. Wink.
Right.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. All this shit is nuts. So yeah, I get it, man. Look, I get that people are upset, but I'm gonna need people to realize what confirmation bias is. Like, this whole thing reminds me of the often made argument online, which is only black male comedians are forced to wear dresses in comedy routines. So, emasculate the black man. I was like, yo, y'all don't pay attention to comedy outside of black comedians at all. Right. Like, it's a common comedic trope. It's been a common comedic trope for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So
Robin Williams made a whole fucking movie about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Whole movie. And guess what? We all saw that shit because Mrs. Doubtfire was funny. Like, it was.
Right.
Like, but you need to
career or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to recognize your own confirmation bias because it's easy to get kind of pinholed into your world and never look at anything else and then go, well, that's how it is just for us. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. A lot of times on things like this, it is not just us who goes through this stuff. Because again, like, if you're mad at the brutality or the character plot device or whatever for Masani's death, yo, I'm gonna need you to go back and watch The Red Wedding. Yo, they killed those people in the most brutal of fashions. Frankly, they've toned down the violence. I think after they got away from George R.R. Martin's like direct work, where they're just kind of freestyling a little bit, yo, the violence is significantly down.
Yeah, yeah.
And never mind, they burned a kid alive in the previous episode. The kid on the wall.
Oh, and that wasn't the first time, by the way.
No, it's not.
Fucking Stannis set his daughter on fire.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. She wasn't a zombie either. Just
no,
was like,
she wasn't.
This chick's a witch.
She wasn't. You know what else she wasn't? Black.
Right. Like, but I guess that's my thing with Game of Thrones. I'm like, yo, there are very few black characters, but a lot of people die. So who do you think those people are? And they don't die in like, oh, they got stabbed and they just moved on. Yo, they took a sword and imbued it with magic, made it come like light on fire, and stabbed a kid and lit him on fire on a wall. It wasn't at a distance. It was a little white kid. Like, what the fuck? Yo, if they'll do that, like, I'm gonna look, a head getting cut off at a distance is nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this show, like, I wish I could go back and just remember all the insane ways that people have died. Like, it's too many to name. So no, I'm not broken up about this. I'm sure that Grey Worm will get his revenge. And look, I get it. Like, you know, you don't want these characters to be sacrificed for the inspiration of these other characters. But guess what? It is what it is. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy show. I don't think there's any sort of like deep racial comments here. I don't think there's anything deep about Game of Thrones, period.
No, especially not this season, because this season is their own. They got senioritis. Like they just
wrap it up.
They just try to wrap it up, B.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Coffee cup here. Fuck it. Let's go.
Let's go. No, we meant that.
The bus about to leave. Yeah, let's just wrap it up, yo.
It's the first Starbucks in Westeros. Who gives a shit?
Why would she fly directly towards the ships with the ballast? Fuck it, yo. Fuck it. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
That dragon got down, my nigga. Let's go.
Right. You see that thing you're doing with your hands circling? Why didn't she just circle around a bit? Nah, fuck it, yo. Fuck it. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
I'm going to fly straight.
Why? All right.
Fly really high. I'm in behind them. Just destroy them all. Whatever. Yeah. I'm not a dragonologist. What do I know?
Right. Wrap it up.
All right. Let's talk about Ayesha Curry. Ayesha Curry, the wife of Steph Curry, the basketball player, went on Red Table Talk to talk to Jada Pinkett Smith and a myriad of other women. I'm not sure who they were. But she got in trouble because she basically said, like, look, I am bothered. I can't help but be bothered by these women, you know, kind of throwing themselves at my husband, Steph Curry, because he's a popular basketball star. But at the same time, I don't feel like I get any attention from men, right? And, you know, I just feel like it'd be nice to, you know, get some attention from guys. Not that she wants to do anything, but, you know, some just nice attention. And people on Twitter were killing her over it, saying, you know, how dare you? You fucking hypocrite. And also, like, why do you want attention from men? To that, I say, this is the most reasonable response, or the most reasonable statement by Ayesha Curry I've ever heard. Everybody does this. Everyone who's pretending that this is a big deal is a fucking liar.
Well, I mean, this is literally human nature.
Yes, right? 100%.
This is literally human nature. This is why men end up cheating. Because men don't know how to fucking like
accept the compliment and just let it go.
Right, exactly. Like I can only speak for men because I'm a man, and I
please speak for all men.
Right, I was about to say I technically shouldn't be speaking for all men, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
There you go.
Like there comes a point in a man's life where he wants to know.
Is that are we starting a James Brown song?
He wants to know if he still got it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like he wants to know if people find him attractive because it helps them build their, you know, helps keep the fragile male ego, you know, very confident or whatever, right? But the problem with men is that if a woman is like, oh hey, yeah, you fine, then a man is like, oh, you want to do something? Like, huh?
It's
like,
true.
Right,
It's totally true.
Calm down, yo.
Relax.
Down. Jesus Christ. But I would assume women go through that. I would assume it's even more so with women, with how society places like impossibly high standards on beauty and you know, you gotta look a certain way, your hair's gotta look a certain way, you gotta wear so much makeup, but it can't look like you're wearing makeup, and like the
I like a woman who wears no makeup. She's wearing makeup.
Exactly.
9 times out of 10 she's wearing makeup. Relax.
Exactly. Like I remember the first time I saw my my now wife without makeup. Like she looked like a totally different fucking person. She did, man.
Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?
Right, like, but like, that's the bullshit that women have to go through, right? And her saying, you know, well, sometimes, yeah, and when they go through all that stuff to make themselves look good, you know, to prop them up and to paint your face and to do your hair and all that, like that's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah,
and you know, if no one is like I don't know. It just fucks with you. It fucks with your head, man.
Right. And I think, to Jada Pinkett Smith's credit, I mean, she makes the point of like, yeah, at a certain point when you're like married for a long time, or in their case, have kids, and I've heard this very, very common. You just kind of turn your radar off, right? Like to single men and things like that. Like you're not paying attention to that, right? And I think this is true for men to an extent. Like, I mean, we have testosterone, so, like tons of testosterone, so we're just always like, we're always paying attention to a degree about those kind of things. But like, I don't know. I just don't think this is a huge deal. This is the most reasonable thing. And I feel like the people who are saying this is unreasonable, y'all not in relationships with nobody.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Like that feels like some very single people shit. Nah, yo, if I get into marriage, I ain't never gonna look at nobody else because it's gonna be perfect all the time, and I ain't never attracted to nobody else. I ain't gonna connect with nobody because it's just me and my girl or my guy, and that's it.
Or it's
You're lying. You don't know jack shit about a relationship.
It's people who are hyper pure also.
Well, there it is. That's my other point I was gonna make.
Like it's people who think, oh, so you saying you want attention from other men? Oh, you saying you want to step out on Steph Curry? How dare you say you want to step out on Steph Curry? I was like, calm down.
Like no one is saying that. No one is saying that.
She's really not. She's really, really not.
Look, I'll tell you right now. I call bullshit on any guy who says this because, if you at work and there's some new woman that works there or you're out or whatever and some woman was like, oh, you're very handsome. You be like, oh, shit, I must be looking good. Got the gut down? Oh, shit. Like, try to walk a little bit more confident, try to poke your chest out and shit. Yeah, it's just human nature, right? Like that everybody likes to feel like somebody finds them attractive. Doesn't mean you want to try to do something. Doesn't mean that, but that feels good. Look, I'll tell you right now, we talked about this on the show on other episodes. Like, and all three of us have admitted this. Like, if you're like, we're all three straight dudes, but if a gay guy is like, oh wow, they're like make some like give you a look or something like that, you'd be like, damn, I must be looking pretty good. Like again, not that I'm interested, but you'd be like, damn, all right, like I got something going on. That's all right.
Like damn, I'm so fine. I'm even attracting dudes.
Nigga, the gym is working, dog.
Right.
And they like the gym, so this shit must be working. Right. So but like the idea that people don't do that is ridiculous. But I think it goes to, and this is the large conversation, it goes to this like this social media bullshit of wanting and pretending to be perfect. Like it doesn't make Ayesha Curry less of a wife or less of a good person to her husband to say that she wants to have like, it would be nice to, have guys think that she's attractive. One, Ayesha Curry, relax. We do. Relax.
Right. And that's what Jada Pinkett was like, look, you know who knows that men find you attractive? Your husband.
Yeah. You're goddamn right.
Because they're looking to make sure, hey.
What you looking at, nigga?
My wife.
No, it's a fact. Like, it was funny because my wife and I were talking about this right before we recorded. I showed her the clip and she was like, what's the offensive part of this? Like, she didn't know. Like, she had no idea. And like, yeah, that's true. Like, but there's also the other aspect of when guys, and you and I are both married, so like, I'm sure you can speak to this as well. And Terrence is in a relationship. We out there now? He's got the profile picture and shit up?
He had the profile picture.
Oh, shit, son.
He had the 150 plus commented.
Yeah, that's right. Because people just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I still don't believe it.
She gonna leave for one of them 7 Korean boys. Knock it off. Terrence can't dance. But the whole thing is, like, especially when you're in a marriage, like and been in a marriage for a number of years, like one of the things is like, oh, how do I look in this dress, or how do I look tonight, or whatever. And as a guy, like you see your wife in a different aspect than you see other women, right? You see your wife in a very deeper, like your attraction to your wife is more than just objectively like she's hot, right? When you first met her, you're like, damn, all right, what's going on, girl? You know, that's objectively finding someone attractive. But now, like you for instance, you have a kid with you have a kid with your wife. Like there is a deeper level of love and respect for that woman than any chick that you see online or in the street, right? So when she says like, how do I look? You're like, oh yeah, I think you look beautiful today. It's almost, and I mean this because it's just a lack of a better word. She can't really trust that. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not an objective response. It is a response with like 9,000 layers of all the other shit. Like, you're the mother of my child. You know, we've had conversations and like we super connect on these intellectual levels. Like all of that stuff is in your response, whether you know it or not. But if you just like for her to be walking in the mall and some dude be like, damn girl, you fine. That's just, they find you objectively attractive. Like there's no anything else behind it. So that is why people are like, oh, they feel something different when it's somebody they don't know giving them attention. That's where that comes from.
Right.
I like, again, I don't think any of you are in relationships. Like the people who are like, this is wrong. Are you? And if you are, your relationship sounds horrible. It just sounds horrible because you're pretending like you've never found someone attractive, which is a lie.
Yeah, I mean, come on, yo.
And if you're look, if you're a woman and you're like, I've never found another man attractive, and your husband and you ask your husband, has he found another woman attractive, and he says no, and y'all married, he's cheating. He's cheating on you. No, he is. That ain't gonna lie. No, please. I see attractive women all the time. I'm like, yeah, she is very, very attractive. I don't do anything, but my wife and I live by the whole idea of like, you're absolutely going to meet people in your life that you find attractive. You can even connect with them, right? Like people have connections with people like, wow, okay, like, you know, we have similarities or whatever. You just don't put yourself in situations to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You can be friends with people, like, and nothing wrong with that. But you don't put yourself in a situation and be like, yeah, come on up to my hotel room and we just gonna freestyle for a little bit. Nah. Stay the fuck away from me.
You better get out of my face.
Yeah, I got time for that.
That shit.
Out of here, you harlot. Like, knock it off. But like, you just don't put yourself in that situation. You can meet people and find them attractive. Like, monogamy is a new world thing. It is not human nature. We're not emperor penguins. Like all that shit is just, it's made up. We've decided to do that, and that's perfectly fine. That's not me judging anybody who does or doesn't do that. But that is a modern society thing. It is not just in our DNA to be monogamous. Not at all.
Right.
Not
That's what separates us. That's why we are higher life forms than animals.
Right. Exactly. You don't believe us? Go to a club on a Friday night. Niggas are just like swinging dick, just trying to hit something. Like, they just don't. So, yeah, the idea of it is largely very silly to me.
Yeah. But what do you expect from Twitter, man? And I'm not going to qualify that as Black Twitter. It's just Twitter.
It's just Twitter. I mean,
it's just Twitter, man.
There is a special place on Twitter, obviously, that has a little bit more that's a little bit more vocal about specifically Black issues, obviously. But I think Twitter might be one of the worst things to happen.
It's the worst invention to ever happen, ever. It really is. Yeah. There's a reason that not everyone has a mouthpiece, has a platform.
Yeah.
And now Twitter has given rise to the ignorant.
Right. And look, and I partake in such said ignorance from time to time. But it's just one of those things where, because it's short form communication, it's just people just going bleh, and then like that's it, as if like bleh means anything. 9 times out of 10, it means nothing. And like, I try not to engage in that. I try to engage in maybe more serious dialogue, but the platform itself is
platform is not built for that.
It's not built for that. Right. Exactly. That's why, like, I will never have a serious conversation with someone. I'm like, look, you can bring it to Facebook where I can write more or something like that, but I'm not going to do that over Twitter. Like, I'm just not. And it's not like I'm afraid to do it. No, because people take shit out that you said out of context and all that. No, nope. No.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to take something out of context that I said, work for it. You just work for it. Cut and paste my fucking Facebook shit up. But like, nah, you're not going to just take one tweet, retweet, and just blow my whole life up and then trying to get me fired and shit. Like, nah, like that shit is silly to me. But yeah, look, let Ayesha Curry go, man. Like, knock it off. All of you.
Leave that woman alone.
What's that?
Said, leave that woman alone.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Like, are you really pretending like you don't like I tweeted? There you go. Earlier, like people are ripping this woman now. Y'all niggas are always talking about having work husbands and work wives.
Right.
Like, nigga, what? By the way, unacceptable. Unacceptable to me.
Yeah, nah.
No, I'm your husband. Work, home life, weekends.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't like that. I don't like that pet name, that work pet name.
Nah. Fuck that shit.
Nah.
Hanukkah, Passover, Kwanzaa, all that shit. One husband. One man enter, one man leave. Knock it off. Like, nah, yo. Work husband. I wish I thought, if my wife said some shit like that, this is my work husband, I'm like, wait, I knock this nigga out. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, well, you need to get a job.
Yeah.
Get a new job.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all getting a divorce. A work husband. Yo, if you say somebody's your work husband, again, that's you. That's not me. Like, it's not the world in which I live in. Don't do that.
Look, your work husband is trying to be your real husband.
Yeah.
At least for a night.
Yeah. He trying to be your real side piece. Yeah. You got a work husband, he trying to fuck.
Yeah.
You got a work wife, she trying to fuck. No. Ugly niggas don't have work wives. That's not how that works.
Nah.
Light-skinned, pretty Steph Curry niggas got work wives. Like, nah, yo. And see, now Ayesha Curry got to act. She can't act Christian. She got to go up there to the NBA, fighting girls in the crowd and shit. Nah.
Yeah. Plus, yo, you married to an NBA player. Like, that's all. I mean, that's part of the job description is to just fucking get it thrown at you.
Yeah.
And that's got to make somebody insecure. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, look, it absolutely does. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I think it's fucked up. I think now you got dumb niggas like Kodak Black saying, I'd give Ayesha Curry some attention. That dude's a human pickaninny. Like, just go sit down somewhere. He's literally one of the ugliest people I've ever seen.
All right. I don't know what this person looks like.
Kodak Black? Yeah, go ahead and Google him. At one point, his hair looked just like Lisa Simpson. All right. So that's not an exaggeration. It was literally yellow and it had spike.
Damn. Yo, this nigga look like
he looks like a pickaninny.
Yeah, he does look like a pickaninny. God damn.
He gonna give her attention. Man, if you don't knock it off, get out of here.
All right.
Yeah, she fine as hell. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, and I think she, like, if I had to guess, doesn't bother me. But if I had to guess, she seems to have gained weight over the years. Like, she was seemingly much smaller, and I bet that hurts women's confidence a lot.
Probably.
Yeah. Look, you still fine.
Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with you.
No, gotta be two something to do something. That's still one of my favorite lines. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, no, I am not mad at what she looks like at all. All right, I think that's it. Look for episode 152 for Four Brothers coming up next week, ? Or maybe the week after. Sorry, our schedule's a little wonky. If it is the week after next, there will be we'll throw up an old school episode to listen to. But we'll let you guys know. Look forward to that. And make sure you check out our other shows in the TMP Studios network, by the way. We have a political show called Look Forward you should definitely listen to. All of these are wherever you get podcasts. Dense Pixels, which is our video game podcast that Mike and Terrence, along with Brad, they host. The Nerdpocalypse, which is our flagship show. It's that's movie, TV news that we do. The same three of us that do this show. So if you like the fuckery that you hear on this show, but you want to hear it about Marvel movies and other nerdy shit, check out the Nerdpocalypse. And obviously Black on Black Cinema. So make sure you share out the shows, tell people about it, and also go to blackonblackcinema.com/premium to sign up for premium content. It is only $5 a month or $50 for the full year. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.